Now, I'm good at a few things. One of these is remembering stuff, so I thought to myself, why can't I make a history YouTube channel? So you know what? That's what I did. Now let's talk history. Let's start this off with the fall of the Western Roman Empire, which happened at 476 AD. The Western Roman Empire died. Mostly because in 44 BC, about like 500 years prior, Caesar got assassinated by Brutus and a bunch of other guys planning to kill him on March 15th, also known as the Ides of March. Beware, the Ides of March. And along with Julius Caesar's killing, there was a lot of outside attacks from quote-unquote barbarian tribes. Those include Visigoths, Ostrogoths, other Germanic tribes, and sometimes the Celts. But the Celts were pretty much already wiped out by the Romans who came there, such as Druid tribes, completely wiped out by Julius Caesar.
So we also have this fella, Charlemagne. Yeah, Charlemagne, he's pretty Charlemagne-y. That's the thing about him, but he's also a Christian, and he's also into feudalism, which is this really cool hot thing that everyone kinda loves. Well, he started the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. Now, this is the way that Charlemagne liked it. This is called feudalism, the caste system. Now, down below we got peasants, serfs, and these other losers. Imagine. But up here we got knights and nobles, and then lords. So nobles are like better peasants. They might have a chance at doing something cool in life. Peasants and serfs, untouchable. Ugh. But yeah, knights work for lords. Lords give them money, land, and in turn, knights defend them. Now lords are like lords are the landlords, right? And now the knights and nobles, they work for the lords, they work for the king. The king gets money from the lords, and the king supplies stuff for the lords and stuff. They work together, they're buddies. And above the king, the king has the divine right, apparently. The divine right to rule by God. So above him is the Pope. And the Pope says, "Hey, king dude, you can rule over here, but I'm still the only person who can ever talk to God." And above the Pope is Terry, who is God. I love you, Terry. Yeah, so check this out. Right here, this is where all the nerds live. They're living in these villages under their lord dude right here. And up here we have the king's castle, the keep. Now this is how feudalism works. Okay, so went through this a little bit more. Here's how it goes. We got all these houses. Now this is the serfdom. This is the serfdom, and the lord right here, this cool dude living in the big house. He gives these guys, alright, fine, you peasants. You can look in my general direction. And in turn, he gives these peasants land so they can live in their little villages in their serfdom and stuff. And this lord is a nobleman. And they give him food. He lets them live there. They pay him rent. He's a landlord. And nobles are also sometimes knights. And knights are like lords, but they're not. Knights go up to the king and say, king or lord, knights go up to the lord and they defend the lord for money. The lord gives them their own land, and the knight can be living on his own house in turn for defending someone. And, now the lord gives the king some money and some food from the peasants, so the lord also supplies the king. And that's why the king has all his lords in his kingdom. And now the Pope up here, he gives the king the divine right to rule, apparently. And then up here we have Terry. One thing that you cannot forget is the plague, which was pretty horrible. But let's bring the video to an end. At the start, we had the early Middle Ages. Right after the fall of the Roman Empire, the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire, this is basically 600 AD to 1200 AD. They can be defined by Viking attacks, a lot of Nordic attacks. and the enormous stuff going on in Normandy, Saxons, Anglo-Saxons we got the Crusades against Jerusalem, trying to get Jerusalem back from Muslim control. We'll go on deeper into that later. Nordic attacks, Vikings going into Normandy, wars in Normandy, other stuff going on, England, Holy Roman Empire. Then we have the High Middle Ages, sparked by like the 100 Years' War, England versus France. France leaves the Holy Roman Empire. There's a lot of plague. The plague is also here again. Yeah, around 12,000 to 1400, that's my estimate. Then we have the Late Middle Ages. This is like the beginning of the Renaissance, end of the Middle Ages. The Renaissance is coming. Goodbye. Well, seems like the video's end. And lastly, these channels helped me a lot in learning about this stuff. We got Shadiversity, Simple History, and Modern History TV. And links in the description. Subscribe to my other channel, Excalibur YT, and it has a little Ukrainian flag. Which isn't helping the cause at all. Don't know why I have it there, but see you later. See you in the next video. Oh, and before I leave, here are some other topics we might be learning about. Well, we're going to finish Middle Ages. We're going to get into the Renaissance. Also, Salem witch trials, American Revolution, American Civil War, other more interesting things, Black Plague maybe, Crusades, 100 Years' War, we already kind of got into that, Vikings,